now welcome to the microphone, Major Nippy Betz. So Nippy, we met in San Antonio last year during our Make Money speaking tour. First time we had taken that particular tour to San Antonio. You sat on the front row, kind of like right here, and you jumped in right away and started helping me pass out handouts, and you started handing me your book and all these different things. And came to the event. You sat here, and actually, when you got here, you immediately said, "Can I upgrade to VIP?" And you came and you said, "I'm going to be on this stage next year." So rewind back for people, what brought you to Speak for Pay and what brought you into the Launch Me Mastermind at the Godfidence Business School. Oh, and tell us who you are.
Oh, I'm Nippy Betz, and I live in San Antonio, and I just got to say that my beautiful wife is sitting on that
Smart
second row
man.
right there.
Smart man.
And what brought me here, I was invited by Laura Thompson with Sisters in Business to come out the year before to see you, and I was busy. And then the second year, she said, "Nippy, you ought to come." And I'm not a woman, I'm a man. It's Sisters in Business. But she wanted me to come, and so I went, and there I tried to help her out as well, and then you were there. You didn't have somebody helping you right there on the spot. So I felt I was supposed to.
I traveled by myself.
Yeah,
we weren't married just yet.
Yeah. So I did all the helping, and then you did surgery. You ripped me open, and you did surgery. There were other people in the room, but you were just talking to me. And I didn't know that a man could give birth, but I was pregnant. Dude, I'm telling for the fellas, I was pregnant. Legs was trying to come out. I was pushing them back in. I didn't know what was going on. It was trying to come out. She was dragging it out of me. I said, dear God. So it became time. It was time to make a decision, and so she gave us an opportunity. And she dropped the price, and I'm like, okay, I gotta hurry up. And I was elbowing Glenda Oakley, trying to elbow her to get to you. And one person, Glenda beat me, but I signed up. And then I had to tell her that I got this great deal for $9.97. And she's like, who is this woman who got my husband giving her $1,000? I'm like, baby, what had happened? She said, well, look, we're not paying for that out of our money. That's your decision. So now she put it all on me. So I said, okay. So if I go, then if I start making money, it's going to be all my money. She said, okay, you can use our money then for this one time. But hurry on back. And so I got here just like y'all, and I sat here wondering, I'm going to get that special brand makeover. That's what, it frustrates me when she tells you something, and you hear her tell you the words about, this is what you ought to do, change your name to Sharp, whatever. And you're like, good, I got it, I'm going to run and change it. And then we might not ever see you again because you think she fixed you. That's just the beginning. Marshawn does surgery. You got to let the anesthesia go in. Don't bite on the belt and drink whiskey. You got to let her do it. And so I sat here like y'all, and at the end, when it was all over with, I was like, okay, my wife didn't want me to come in here, but I know she's sure not going to want me calling her for what's next. And so I called her, and I told her I wanted to do it, and she said, baby, no. And I'm like, I got to do this. So I cried on Jack's shoulder a little bit. My wife, and I did something that we don't do. And I went home, and I paid my next money, just the down payment. And I said, I'll get you the money on Monday. And I left here like, how in the world am I going to do this? Even though I make, by myself, $170,000 in income, I'm a grown man. I should be able to pay for this. But I'm happily married, Bishop, and it's partnerships. And so I am. It's an equal thing. So we both get the same amount of money every month. So what happened was when that happened, I went back and said, baby, I'm doing this. Well, how you going to do it? You can't pay. I got it. And I went to the bank on Monday, and I told the people my credit is over 800. I need some money, and I needed that 11,000, I think, in credit at that point. And they gave it to me, and I paid Jack. I called Jack, take my money. And my life hadn't been the same. It hadn't been the same.
So talk about what your experience was like once you said yes, like once you made that decision. What was it like joining the Mastermind program? Or what was it just like having your quick start? Because what happens when you join the Launch Me Mastermind or Captivate, you get a quick start, a vision mapping session. And yours was with me in the Launch Me Mastermind.
Right. I joined the line. I didn't want to do Captivate because I had a TV show that shows every Saturday and Sunday on a nonprofit.
Hold your mic up a little bit more, Nippy.
For a nonprofit that I had been running for years, and I helped kids get into college and pay for it. And so I was doing it for years and doing it for, I would get honorarium money and some KG cards and fruit baskets, and that was it. But it was my ministry, so I didn't care. It didn't matter. I was just doing my purpose, and my wife...
Say that again. It was your ministry.
It was my ministry, and I was doing it, but she gave me permission that Saturday with Sisters in Business to say, it's okay to charge for your purpose. And when she gave me permission, she does that a lot to me, by the way. Nippy, you have permission. And so what she did was she took me and did the Quick Start program with me because I joined up. And when she did it, I had Scholarships for All was the name. I was so proud of it. And she didn't like it, but I was telling somebody over there, sometimes she'll give you hints, and I think that's what Jay just texted me. Y'all need to listen to Marshawn's hint. She gave me a hint. She didn't like it, but I'm like, I ain't studying about her. That's what I'm Scholarship for All. See, I did. I'm going to listen to everything she said, but I'm Scott. And so she backed off. She let me do my little thing, and I kept moving. Just to fast forward, though, she ripped me open eventually and changed me to the Scholarship Leadership Institute. All right? And that sounds so much better because Scholarship for All made it kind of cheap, like scholarship for everybody. Well, it's not. Yeah, it's not for everybody. And don't get me wrong, I have 11-year-olds who we've helped get $60,000 already. I sat here last year, and people from this audience flew me out, and I spoke in audiences all over this country because she helped me do that. And so by doing that, Marshawn, that changed so much. The Scholarship Leadership Institute, where we, no kidding, we help families eliminate stress, and we help the teens create success in the areas of scholarship and leadership, just development, and we're good at this. I want every kid to graduate debt-free. They shouldn't be going to college and being in debt. It doesn't make sense. And so we've helped kids get $1 million. We've helped kids get $800,000, individual kids, by the way, $700,000. And so I got appointments Saturday night right in this hotel. I got them back to back to back.
Let me tell you one thing about Nippy. If he is on the road, he's going to have a speaking engagement. When he comes to the mastermind meetings, he always has speaking engagements lined up.
Yep.
And so one of the things that's also very unique about him is that he has a youth audience. And there's a myth in thinking that if you have a message and a business and your passion and ministry is focused on young people, that you can't be profitable. Before you shift and kind of tell some laser things of what you've been able to accomplish, what have you made in the first quarter of this year? The first 3 months.
First 3 months, we made $40,000 by helping kids with what I just told you. That makes her very happy. And last year, I think before then, it took me about 6 months because I had a nonprofit, and I was trying, some of you, we've talked. You're trying to do both. You're like, I'm going to launch this, and I'm going to do this. And I'm telling you, a double-minded person, it's just not going to be successful like you want it to be. And so they had to ease me up, and Dr. Williams helped me, Sandra Williams helped me understand that you can still give back, but I gave back less. So I stopped my nonprofit and what I was doing every month and replaced it with a webinar thing that I do all around the country because I said the people in San Antonio weren't going to use me. I'm going to California. I'm going to Atlanta. And I have people who have never met me because she told me to use a new brand, Nippy Betz. And she'll tell you about that. But when she told me to change that, now people were paying me $5,000 from California, and they never met me because there was a trust factor.
So Nippy's nickname, his name is Cornelius, but we all call him Nippy because that's his nickname. And I was telling him, I forget that he's a major in the Air Force. So I said, remember when you're going into your calling, when we're on the 4 phases of purpose, how sometimes we leave behind our talent? Mm-hmm. Sometimes you take the titles with you because of branding and positioning. And so that's where we came up with Nippy Betz and walking students through the Scholarship and Leadership Institute, where he has scholarship boot camps and leadership boot camps. And just the level of credibility of their parents entrusting their kids to him as a major in the Air Force.
Now.
So let's talk a little bit about, what you've been able to accomplish financially additionally. Like, break it down. I know in one weekend you made a nice dollar amount.
Okay. Well, real quick, I told you the girl jumped over the Air Force. I retired. I was a retired major. I'm a GS-14. It makes $120,000 right now in my job. So I'm a retired Air Force commander, but it doesn't matter because I'm always a commander. I'm always a major. So she asked me something, and so let me show you about teamwork and these people up here who I love. I mean, when I say it, it's not a play word. This is family. This is family right here. And so when I was booking events, and I was trying, everywhere I go, I do it, and I asked Stephanie here, because she's with the Jack and Jill organization, and I've been trying to crack that code forever. And I say, Steph, can you help me? And I had to chase her down because she was busy doing her own. Stephanie, I'm serious. I need your help. And so she got in touch with a couple of people, and no kidding, after her meeting, I was in the hotel, and I saw Marshawn's name and my name. But I book events. I had 2 events here in Atlanta. Every time I come, I'm doing something. And I had people show up. And that day, Marshawn earlier told me, your price is too low. I was charging, if it was up to me, I'd be charging $300 a kid per year. But what happened was after getting in the Launch Me program, it went to $29.95. And when I got that first client, I'm like,
not
yes.
$29.95.
$2,995. And I was excited. But then, at my last mastermind, she said, Nippy, your price is too low. It should be $5,000. I swallowed my tongue. I just, what? And I used to think something was wrong with her when she would do this. Like, is she drinking? Who's going to pay me that kind of money? Yeah, that Jack Daniels she drinking back there. She's got to be drinking. But it's all of it. Marianne, you remember, right?
I got a private label brand.
Okay. So I walked out the mastermind, walked 2 rooms over, and started setting up for my stuff. And that night, people came, and Joy, I don't know what G is, Joy came to support me, part of the teamwork. Joy came and sat in that room, and Joy saw me. And I know Joy say, he ain't all that. But the room was fired up. And that night, just from that night, I got signed 2. That was $6,000 almost. Then I flew to California the next day, and I told the people in Atlanta, if you don't do it now, it's $5,000 tomorrow. Went to California, had a room full of people, and did the same thing and got 10,000 more. That was 16,000 like a month and a half ago.
In 1 weekend.
Right.
In 2 days.
Last week I made $15,000 in 2 days. Didn't tell you that one. And so right now we are fired up about the future. And I know if we can make $40,000 when it isn't even scholarship season right now, what can I do with this woman's help and the 2 people I've hired who are working at home while I'm here because I now have money to pay them? What could we do over a 4-quarter period? That's what we're going to do. We're going to, 200,000 plus is my new goal, Marshawn. $250,000, and then I'm bringing that woman home. I'm bringing her home. I'm bringing her home. I'm bringing her home. You're coming home, woman. You're coming home.
So you can read more about Major Betz and what he's been able to accomplish in changing his brand and building his media kit, his media package. What I really want you to pay attention to in the success profile about Major Betz, I want you to look at all of the places that he's spoken because he pitches. Mm-hmm. The University of Texas, Huston-Tilston University, Sisters in Business, the same program where I've keynoted, and he was the first male to ever keynote on that speaker series. San Antonio College 2 times, Palo Alto College, Church's New Life Fellowship. He's always pitching, he's always hustling, he's always out there because he is focused. And what I think is the most beautiful thing is that when we were in San Antonio, his wife was one of the first ones to sign up to be here this year at Speak for Pay. Yes. So tell us what you would say to others, and especially what Godfidence means to you.
All I know is it's going to break my heart for those who are close to making that decision and you don't because of money when you have the ability to do it, because we almost didn't, and I can't imagine what my life would be like today if I didn't. I know I'm leaving my job. I'm going to have to deal with the generals and everybody else here in the near future because this is my passion. This is my purpose. This is what I'm supposed to do, and I can't wait to do it with that woman. But the Godfidence thing, Steve Harvey talked about it. It's almost like this thing, and that's what I felt like last year, and I took a leap of faith. And that's what you got to do. You just got to jump. She's going to give you an opportunity. I mean, jump. And to me, the parachute on my back was Godfidence, and then my God, my Heavenly Father. And I knew that if I jump, and don't get me wrong, I skinned my knees up, I hit all the stuff, all kind of bad stuff as I'm hitting the cliffs. But by the time before I hit the ground, the parachute opened, I'm at my purpose, and every day I'm at the job, I'm cheating. Jack, no, good Lord, I'm cheating because I love what I do, and I can't wait to share a bunch of that with you and have you guys in the room at the masterminds with us so you can be next to Bishop and LaShawn over here who helps me like my big sister.
One other thing, Nippy, I remember last year because every time when you start a program with us, one of the things Jack will ask you in Captivate is, why are you here? Why did you join? And I remember asking you that too. And you said, I sat next to someone at the event. Do you remember who you sat next to? And you said, she sat here the year before.
Oh, yeah, it was Tiffany's friend, the girl from Houston. And she sat at that mic and said, I sat right, and Tiffany was up here, and she was trying to approach 6 figures. And I'm watching Tiffany because she made 6 figures. So I'm like, oh, so I don't need this thing. Because if I retire in 5 years, my retirement is $134,000 a year. So I really don't need this. But God needs me to do this. I've tried to stop. The kids need me to do this. You guys out there who know kids, you're going to be emailing me, and I'm going to come talk to your folks. But that's what it was. I'm pitching, because I'm coming to help all of y'all. That's right. That's right. But thank you, Tiffany, for being up here, because when your friend said that.
I don't think they fully got what you're. So there was a girl that came to the microphone who was watching. Right, that's fine. That was watching Tiffany, who was on our success panel last year, talk about getting started from scratch. Now, the person who watched Tiffany was further along than Tiffany had been the year before.
Right.
She was already an existing speaker. Tiffany was an aspiring speaker at the time. She watched that and came back the second year, didn't join, and said, do you remember what she said?
Yeah, she just said, it was just tears. It was emotional. And I sat right here, and I kept looking at her, and I said, I don't want to be her. And I told my wife that.
What did she say?
She said that I came here with her last year, and we were about at the same level, and I think she was even further. She said, I wish I had made the decision to join back then, and she didn't. So that year passed. Yeah. She hadn't moved. You can't coach yourself. You can't change yourself. The doctor's over here. And so she needed to be where Tiffany was. Tiffany got cut open the same way we got cut open.
We all get cut.
And we don't like it. I'm telling you, Marshawn, like, just be still.
I cut people? You make me sound all violent.
You do. You rip us
But
open
I thought that was very
kindness.
interesting. I remember the moment last year when she came to the microphone and she says, I sat and I watched individuals, because she ended up joining the mastermind as well, and she said, I watched people where I was further along than before Speak for Pay surpass me because I went back by myself. That they surpassed me and I was already ahead of them when we got started.
So I made sure when I joined, I was like her. Didn't miss nothing. Do everything they tell me to do. She say jump, I'm jumping.
So could you pass the mic to Bishop Corletta Vaughn? Y'all, let's hear it for Nippy Betz.
Bishop's so good, she needs 2 mics.
So proud of you. So proud of you. The mastermind meetings are not the same if you're not there, but you're at all of them. So it's fantastic.